Good evening, good morning, and welcome to Animal House Radio. And we're doing a special live broadcast because we have a very extra special guest in the house. She is an icon in every sense of the word, a true pioneer of music, and we are honored to have her here today. It took some doing. I scoured the globe for her, but I finally got her. To her friends and family, she's known as Manuela Camosi, but to us music fans and everybody worldwide, please welcome for the first time and hopefully not the last on Animal House Radio, Ya Kid K.
Thank
Ya,
you for
good
having
morning.
me.
How are you?
I'm fine. How are you?
I'm doing great. I just want to tell you that it's a complete honor to be speaking to you today. You have no idea the impact that you've made on so many people, and it's just a pleasure and an honor to be speaking to you. And I thank you for giving us this time this morning.
You're very welcome. Thanks a lot.
So, catch me up on a lot of things. How did it all come about? Did you want to do music when you were a little girl, or where did you get your love of music from?
Yeah, from you want me to be really honest? From musicals.
Oh, hey, no, that's
No,
cool. Yeah.
no, well, no, there was always music in the house. My father brought a lot of Motown music. He was friends with the Commodore's manager at the time. So whenever he came back from the States, he had all this music with him, and just we would. My mom loves music. She was more like an ABBA fan, and we had Elvis records. So we're like everything you can. I mean, all the music you can imagine. We've been exposed to since childhood. But I used to love musicals, and I think it's Doris Day, Calamity Jane.
Oh,
That
wow.
started. I know that sounds really weird, right?
No, that's interesting. It's the first time I've ever heard that, but it's not. Hey,
I
whatever
don't think I
gets
ever
you.
told anybody.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I it's weird when I try to find guests. I try to find guests that are iconic and people who are made lasting memories for fans, and you're definitely qualified. Um, and I was like, I just went on a big weight loss journey. I was 300 pounds. Now I'm down to 250. Um, and I got to tell you
Congratulations.
that if you look on YouTube and you look up Get Up, the plays are going up because I've been playing it every day at the gym, and it's getting me motivated. So I got to thank you for
Ah,
that.
that's nice. You're welcome.
No, I saw your YouTube channel, and you tell the most interesting stories. You tell these little quick stories, and one of my favorite ones was that you were in New York City with your sister, and I think um you spotted Omar Epps, and you
Yes.
kept saying juice, 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 juice.
Yeah, yeah. I nudged her. I said, look, juice, juice, and this is juice, juice. And we could tell he could hear us, but he was not, I understand now. I understand. Sometimes
So
you're just not in the mood.
no, no, I
And
no, but I know that had to be a big deal. And then correct me if I'm wrong, but your first um celebrity you actually met was the Knight Rider car?
yes. Yes, the Knight Rider car is the first one that made a big impression on me because technically, see, that was at Universal Studios back in 1985. Technically, it would have been what's his name, Robert Wagner, that I first saw because he was part of the tour. Like you first come in and
Right,
I don't know
right.
but yes, Kit is the one that really made a big impression on me because I had a conversation. I went, you got to sit inside the car and speak with
Oh,
Kit,
well. All
and I
right.
had a very there you are. Finally, I see your face. I can't believe it. I'm seeing you. You must
So
have clicked on
now
something.
this is joining us now is No Filter Paul. He's our IT guy, and sometimes he co-hosts with me. But Paul, I want to introduce you to Ya Kid K.
Hi, how are you? Nice to see you.
Nice. Well, nice to hear you. I don't see you. Hello. Hi.
That's okay. We could ad lib this, but Paul is also a huge fan of yours, and he's been like me. He's been listening to your music since we were kids. So, Paul, if you have any questions, go right ahead.
All right, yeah. So, I mean, I basically grew up at the end of high school with Get Up and speed is Technotronic, and it was really great. But I don't know if Carlos asked you. This is the question I'm sure you get asked all the time. How did you feel about the first song without you in the video? How did you feel about that?
Well, I was very sad. I was very
Right, I
unhappy
imagine,
because they
right?
didn't inform me. Yeah, what? What?
Go ahead.
What'd you say?
No, he said he could imagine you were upset about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, because this was, I mean, that's not what I had in mind. They did say to me that if I wasn't going to sign anything, they would promote it without me. But I wasn't, I didn't think that would happen. My friends came and told me your record's in the shop with a girl on it. And not just that, it said featuring Felly on the cover, and she gets vocal credits on the initial cover and stuff like that. But I talked it out with producer, and I talk about it on the channel, so you can always go to my
Right. Yeah, I know
channel.
there's a little bit of like not bad blood, but I know there was a lot of tenseness between you and Felly, and that's all water under
Well,
the bridge.
I met her a total of, the first time I met her was right before the night before the video shoot, and then maybe once after that. It's not like I've really had. That's the most I've ever really spoken to her, was that the evening before the video shoot. I've not really spoken to her besides that. So,
I don't think
just
it wasn't her fault, right? I mean, it was the producer's fault,
no,
right?
no. She kind of got herself caught up in a Milli Vanilli situation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Apparently signed to lie. I mean, that's just, but I didn't. So, I wasn't gonna, and since this is not something that I agreed to, I wasn't just gonna, I was really, really, really sad, because I think I'm really good with voices. I recognize voices really well. And I'm thinking, if I'm somebody else is out there with my voice, when I come out, it's just not going to work out for me. So I had to
Right.
put my foot down. Yeah.
Yeah. Now, yeah, you said you got exposed to a lot of different music, growing up. So how did you morph into becoming a female rapper? Because I have to say, and I mean this with all due respect, I think you're one of the most underrated female rappers that ever came out. I don't think that, you got the accolades and the credit that you truly deserve.
But I don't think that what's on the Technotronic record can really be, I don't know, considered as rap. It's more like chants and stuff, little short chants and stuff. But I do have other stuff that's just not, been whatever. But yeah, no, thank you. But I don't think I'm that good, though. I mean, I'm okay,
No,
You had top 10 hits in England. I think in Europe you were bigger than in the USA. Because I remember the song "Get Up" was the big hit after. Even though Pump Up the Jam was big, but Get Up was huge in England. I remember walking home from school listening to that, so it was great. And now is it true that your sister did some of the vocals on one of those tracks, and she was like 12 or 13? Is that correct?
No, but I did record some stuff with my sister. It was just never released. I recorded something with David Morales was producing in the studio, and me and my sister, but we never released it. And then afterwards, when she did her own stuff, we also recorded a nice track of hers, that I feature on, but we never released it.
Okay.
But on the Technotronic, no, there's no, she doesn't do any vocals on here.
Right.
No.
And now, let me ask you. You worked a lot. Yo Bogert was key in putting together a lot of stuff. With all your songs, did you write them, or was it a collaboration between you and Yo and MC Eric? And
well, I wrote lyrics. I got the music. And I just wrote the lyrics at home, and then went to the studio and recorded.
Oh wow, what was your process for doing that? Was it hard to come up with them, or was it just, did you actually sit down and say, I got to write a song, or were you like, during the course of your day, stuff would come to you?
No, this was, this was an opportunity to do it. So for us, it was big for us. That's me and my crew, yeah. So we had an opportunity to record this record because this guy was looking for a Black female rapper, which I was the only one in the country anyway.
Right.
So at the gig,
you were the first.
I was I was in Belgium. I was the only female rapper at that time. So he's looking for a Black female rapper. Hey, I got the gig. Then I got the cassettes and kind of put it to the side for a month, and then I guess he called me again and said, "What's up?" You know. And then I wrote it down and went to the studio the next day. It took 15 minutes to write "Pump Up the Jam." Yeah.
Really?
Yes, but you know, there's not a lot of content. Yeah, if you just pump up the jam, pump it up while your feet are stomping, and just look at the ground. I mean, it's what, 7? I don't know the total, but it's not more than 10. I think if you add it up. But yeah, so that went pretty fast, and the rest too. But I think you can tell really, no, from the way it sounds. Like it's very simplistic. To me, it sounds very simplistic.
But
and
it worked.
It worked. That's true. But because
You
I
know?
guess because I feel like I didn't put that much effort in it, that I'm kind of taken aback. I guess when I get big compliments about it, because I feel like,
Well,
okay,
you
that was
should
kind of
compliment yourself. You put out a lot of great music over the years, and I'm not just talking about the stuff because I've listened to your stuff. After Technotronic, you put out a lot of great stuff.
Yeah, that song from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. How did you feel? Was that song written for the movie? Was that a song you
the
wrote?
one called Awesome. The
Spin
one
That
called
Wheel.
Awesome, right? I know Spin That Wheel was actually recorded at around the same time as the Technotronic songs for the Pump Up the Jam album were recorded, but it was a different project. These 3 guys called themselves High Tech 3. And what did I recorded 1, 2, right? Spin That Wheel. No, Spin That Wheel. It was a 12-inch. Yeah, I recorded that with them. And they used that for the first movie. For the second movie, though, they did send me a script and asked me to write a lyric called something called Awesome, because that's what the Turtles always said. So that's what I
Now let me ask you, I heard you tell a couple of stories, and I love your stories. They're so interesting because I like the way you tell them. But in the beginning, when you went out socially and stuff, you got like an icy reception from other female rappers, and you idolized them. Like you were a big fan of Latifah. Even in Get Up, you had a Queen Latifah shirt on. And
oh yeah, but she's always been really nice to me from
yeah,
day
I
one.
mean,
I
they
guess because
warmed up to you, and same thing with MC Light too. At first, like you were telling a story about you were at a party, and then eventually,
no, it wasn't a party. It was actually at a radio station in Cincinnati. It was a radio station, and I was just sitting at a table. But I know she made a comment like, oh, there goes another one of those quiet ones, And I'm just like, I don't see how else I could have been behaving. Like, I was kind of, I'm foreign in the States, kind of,
right.
Trying to, I don't know, feel my way. I don't know, but yeah. So, but I spoke to her after that, and she was really cool, and I'm still a
Right,
big
yeah.
fan.
So that was I like these stories. Now you spent a lot of time in Belgium, and that's got to be interesting. And there was if you can tell the story, like did you run away to New York?
Well, to Chicago.
Chicago, okay.
I ran away to Chicago. Yes, my father was CEO of Zairian National Airline. Yeah, so we traveled a lot, and I just happened to have like a closet, like a section in my closet full of unused tickets. Well, some were used, some were expired, but a lot of them were unused, and there were 2 that I could use because I had one a visa. I had a ticket for Nairobi, Brussels, and another ticket, Brussels, Chicago, Brussels. I happened to have a Zairian passport with the Kenyan visa, but it had expired because this was 1987 and the visa expired in 85. And then I scratch out the 5 and turn it into a 7. In retrospect, I'm thinking, why didn't I try to turn it into an 8? That would have made more sense to turn a 5 into an 8 than try to turn it into a 7. But anyway, it was so obvious that I said, okay, forget that. Okay. And my Belgian passport had an indefinite tourist visa for the USA. So I left home. I spent a week in Amsterdam, actually.
Oh, okay. That's funny.
Yeah. I spent a week. And then I went to Brussels, and it happened to be that 40 minutes after I got there that there was a plane leaving. And, maybe if I'd come a little earlier, they might not have let me on that plane, because apparently my mom afterwards, obviously, she went looking for me and even got to the airport when she found out, they told her that it's really weird that they let me through, because by that time indefinite tickets were no longer, were no longer valid. Like
Right.
an indefinite ticket would only be valid for a year, and that year had expired, but somehow they let me through. So, but I mean, yeah, I shouldn't brag about it, but
Oh, it's a fun
my poor
story.
mother.
It's nothing. Yeah.
Statute of
I
limitations is
put it
passed. You're okay now. Now,
So
right.
were you part of the Technotronic group that like opened for Madonna and
Say that again.
according to the Technotronic in Wikipedia, I've been reading a lot. It says that you guys opened for Madonna. Were you part of that?
Yes, yes, that was her Blonde Ambition tour. Well, we only did the USA, some of Canada, or I don't know how much of Canada we did, but the USA, Canada, and then we did Wembley Stadium.
Oh
oh
wow,
wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's crazy! And then you
But
were on
by the time we
Saturday
did
Night.
Wembley, huh?
And then they did Saturday Night Live and the Arsenio Hall show.
Yes, we did that too. Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
liked the Arsenio Hall show. That was a great performance. Yeah.
Didn't he screwed that up by bringing on like was it, a conspiracy guy or someone? I can't remember what it was, but he messed up show up.
Yeah. 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 Out of all the people that you come across, celebrity stuff, who are you most starstruck by? That you're like, oh my god.
Ha. No, I don't know if there's anybody that was most starstruck by. I kind of get starstruck even when I see people that I've worked with on a big screen, for instance. Like I have some choreographers of mine that have had parts in movies or whatever, and then like, that's not what, or anybody really. When I see, I don't know, when I see people that I like, I think I get starstruck. Not really like some people do, but I get excited and happy.
Wow,
Who was
that's a good
who
thing.
was
Yeah.
I was gonna say who was the coolest person that you met? Was it someone in the music industry, or did you get to meet like famous actors? I mean, you guys are a big deal back, when
Yeah,
that was hitting.
I think I don't know, because everybody kind of made an impression on me. I'm not really the kind that kind of dweep. How do you say that in English? Does dweep is there such a word, dweep, in English?
Oh
Right.
yeah,
To
yeah,
dweep
yeah.
Yeah.
with someone.
Yeah.
Sometimes I take words from other languages because I think they might apply like. But anyway, I'm not too like, I know some people that really get starstruck. I still see people as people, and but everybody that I can think, like, seeing Quincy Jones, Debbie Allen, even though I didn't really have a conversation with them,
Debbie
Will
Allen.
Smith,
Huh?
Jazzy
Oh
Jeff,
wow, yeah.
Debbie Allen from Fame,
Debbie
right?
Allen, yeah.
Yeah.
What? Oh yeah, I'm a big Debbie Allen fan, but she didn't really acknowledge me.
Oh wow.
Maybe, yeah. But I think, yeah, sometimes when you're really nervous, you can give off a certain impression that it, doesn't really reflect the way you feel. It can come off as arrogant, or I don't know. I know that, for instance, the first time I went to school in Belgium, I was really, really nervous. That I walked in there with my head up, and I had these cowboy boots with fashion then, and I was walking like really like slow. And, I looked like I had my nose up in the air and that I was the most arrogant being ever. But inside I was scared. I was really, really. So I can see how, because I've had that with Taylor Dane too. I think, we were rolling up somewhere in Florida, and out the tour bus window, I saw her, and I don't know what I said, but I could tell from her reaction that she took it the wrong way, whatever I said, So I
Oh,
see sometimes maybe.
yeah. That's don't worry about that. You tell them all. That's
Yeah,
what you
we're
tell them.
interviewing you now, not them. That's all I'm saying.
That's right. Yeah, we're not looking for them. We're looking for you. But yeah. What do you? I mean, are you retired? Because it would be a shame to say. But I mean, you still have a beautiful voice. I've seen some videos. I don't know how old they are, but you were still doing a lot of like festivals and stuff. Have you hung up your microphone or?
Well, yeah, well, no, those Technotronic shows, they kind of happened because MC Eric asked me to, so we started in 2009, and then, you know, I just, anyway, it was convenient. Our son had to go to university, so we did that for a little while, but I mean, I like to do other things. I mean, I have other music that is not getting the kind of attention Technotronic.
Right.
To be honest with you, I don't. I mean, the business. I kind of got sidetracked, if you want. I didn't focus on my career as much as my personal life, which
Right.
I think is fine, you know, because obviously, you know, you got to have something to write about. If you're going to be an artist,
Absolutely.
you
Yeah.
got to have something. You got to have a story to tell, so you got to have some experience before you
Right,
can tell
right,
your
right.
story. So
All
I
that
kind of had to.
most songs that people write
Mhm.
are based on something that happened in their life, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, I
So
can't
I do
tell you.
have a lot of songs.
Go
Hmm?
ahead. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No. I said I do have a lot of songs, you know, that never. I mean, I have a lot of stuff, but I don't. I mean, unless I die before they can come out, you know,
I hope
I don't know.
not.
We'll see.
Oh, God forbid. God forbid.
Well, you know, COVID took my father this year, so
Oh wow.
Oh,
you never know. Nobody expected that. That just went poof, and
I'm
he's no
sorry to
more.
hear about that. But you know what?
Thanks.
Like I was telling you before the interview, yeah. We've had so many great guests on this show, and you are like, I don't know. It's hard to explain the impact you made on me. You're like one of my favorite guests because you're just a regular person, but you've made such an impact, and it's just, I don't know what it is. Like I told you, I've been working out at the gym. I've been playing all your old music, and it's kind of motivated me. And I was driving in the car listening to one of your songs, and I'm like, I wonder what she's doing now. She would be an interesting guest. And I've had dozens, hundreds and hundreds of celebrities, but you are by far my most favorite right now.
Thank you.
I appreciate.
Thank you.
Can you did you had a story that you told on one of your videos about being in New York and you got arrested by the NYPD?
Arrested in New York.
You were in the New York and you were in the police station. They found out that you were a runaway and
Oh no, yeah, no. I walked up that when I was 15 when I ran away. No. At some point, see, I'd spend the night in the shelter. That is to say, 2 hours because I got there at 4 a.m. and at 6 a.m. they kicked everybody out. So I spent 2 nights in the shelter. It was the middle of the winter, yeah, and I'd been roaming the whole day through the city, and I had no money, and I realized I said, what am I gonna do? You know what? I thought I was smart to throw away my passport, so I got rid of my passport in one of those big bins there in the side
oh
streets. Anyway,
wow.
but then I realized, but what am I gonna do? I can't do nothing. So I walked up to I called the shelter because I had a card. So I made a collect call to the shelter. They told me, I told them where I was. They told me, oh, there are cops. There should be cops right over there, which there were. So I walked over to them. And as I'm approaching them, I'm telling them, I'm a 15-year-old runaway from Belgium and I've come to turn myself in. Of course, they're staring at me.
It's
They're
the
staring at me.
throwing away of the
I repeat,
passport. I said throwing away of the passport is something a lot of people do in England because it's harder to deport them if they can't find their passport.
They must have looked at
oh,
you like you were crazy when you said, I'm here to turn myself
they
in.
did, they did. Like, you know, but so, and I ended up at the police station. And then, of course, you know, they figured out it was true. They called my mom. I called my mom. Well, they called my mom. I got on the phone with my mom, and I guess they called the consulate, the Belgian consulate. Anyway, yeah, I got picked up by the consulate first and went over to his house for a few hours. And my father had a friend in Chicago. He picked me up and then he dropped me off at his wife and son's place because they weren't living together anymore. And I kind of stayed there for a little while, went back to Belgium to get my papers in order to get a new passport, and
Wow.
came back to Chicago with the intention to start studying there. But before that actually could happen, you know, I ended up back in Belgium because I was a little bit wayward, so to speak.
Wow.
It's a crazy story that most people that run away, they run away to the next city. You came across America.
Oh,
Yeah, right.
oh yeah. I was really enamored with America. Like America to me was like, you know, one day I gotta be there. I gotta go there. I remember we were vacationing in Mombasa when I was really young, and there was a USS Navy ship that docked over there, and one of the sailors was courting one of my sisters, and you know, I thought to myself, oh gosh, I hope they get married. I can go. You turn him
Chicago's
down.
got to be a lot colder than where you lived before, right?
Oh, Chicago. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, that is to say, I was in Belgium when I went to Chicago. So, yeah. But it is much cold. It's the windy city. Yeah? It was really, really cold, actually. Because I did feel yeah, when it's that cold, you feel like your ears are going to break if you touch them. No, you've never been in that
Oh
kind of
yeah,
cold?
yeah. Believe me.
What it was.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Technotronic aside, that music included. What do you of all the stuff that you recorded and sang, even if it hasn't been released, what are you most proud of that you've done? What is like your favorite, like the gem that you're like, I'm so glad I did this.
Release things. Let me think. They're like not really release things, It's like a dub plate I did with this Belgian sound system, Massive Sound, you
Uh
know.
huh. Uh huh.
So they play when they DJ wherever they do their thing. I mean, that was years ago, that 2000 or something like that. I
Wow.
like also I like what I did with the DAAU. Is that I don't know how to pronounce it. It's a German thing. The track is called Merry Go Round, and they got like
Oh, okay. All right, we got to check that out. I got to find that. Yeah. So
yeah
the video "Get Up," where was that recorded at? Because it was like a cool video. I like that.
yeah, that was in London in
Oh,
in
okay, London.
UK. I
Okay,
went
I didn't.
to
That's
England,
all.
yes, and
Yeah.
Around just after you guys hit the other group, Two Unlimited, they're from Belgium too. Did you ever get to work with those guys?
Oh, Ray. Yeah.
I think that Ray and Anita are Dutch. Yeah, I think the
Okay,
producers are
I know it
Belgian.
is the producers from Belgium, so that's what made me think.
Okay. Yeah, yeah. I mean, we ran into each other a lot, especially in the since 2000 and from 2009 till I stopped in 2018 to do shows. But I ran into them a lot, and then it was just Ray because I guess Anita stopped
I
going
saw
on
you do an
music.
interview with Ray probably a few years ago.
Yes,
It was
that
like
was
on one of those morning shows,
yeah. And was it Perth?
Australia, right?
Australia.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I mean, you kind of retired, but I think the world needs to see more of you. We need you to come back and lift our hearts again. I mean, come to the States for a couple of shows. We'd love to see you back on stage with your Queen Latifah shirt and your baseball hat and your gold chains. And
Yeah. Well, I don't know as far as Technotronic shows go, and I just can't tell because sometimes you may have plans and wishes, and and when it doesn't work out the way you want to, then you're left there with your mouth full of
I
teeth.
mean, do you miss
So,
being on stage? I mean,
no, something. I've always been petrified of this thing. I've always
seriously?
been so much more. Yes, I've always been petrified as they. I've always been so much more comfortable in a studio, like hidden away. That going on stage is something that I don't know. It's taken a long time. It does happen that I'm comfortable on stage, but
Yeah.
mostly I pretty much want to poop myself.
Oh, you would never tell watching you perform that you have any kind of fear or anything.
Yeah, me myself, I can tell. I can tell when I'm ultra nervous, But there are times when actually when it's cool, but they're quite rare in comparison to the
It's
times that I'm.
it sounds like I get nervous before I do stand up, but once I get on the stage, it's all okay, right? It's all okay.
Well, yeah, right. 'Cause once you're there, it's before you gotta go, and then suddenly you go want to rush
You
to
get
the
the first couple of
bathroom.
lines
I,
out, and then you've
once,
Is
once you're
that
on there, it's either
yeah,
like do or die, right? You if you
right?
don't
Exactly.
if you
That
yeah.
first line doesn't hit, you're in trouble.
absolutely.
You're like, oh my god.
Oh, I wanted to reiterate this because the Animal House Radio does go out on American Forces Network, and I know I mentioned this to you before the show, but some of our men and women are stationed in areas where the bottom can drop out at any minute. They're in dark, lonely places, and they don't get much contact with their family. And, they make work 18, 20 hours a day and get that hour downtime. And for them to be able to listen to a Technotronic song or hear Yacht Kid K or watch a movie or a TV show for that hour that brings them home, it means a lot to them. It makes the difference. And I just wanted to it's always great that we thank our servicemen and women for what they do, but I want to make sure that on their behalf that I let you know that thank you for the entertainment value you provided for so many years, and just the uplifting music that you provided, and your positive role model, first female rapper, which is a milestone. That's something to be proud of. I mean, you set the bar high for a lot of people. You may not think so, yeah, but that's my personal opinion, and I think you are such a positive role model and icon over the years, and thank you on their behalf for what you did.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I'm very happy to know that something I did had such an effect on anybody at all. So thank you.
Oh, you're quite welcome. I wanted to, Paul, do you have any last questions? Because I want to,
Do you? I know you said you did some reunion stuff. Do you ever do those like '90s reunion tours where they have like 5 or 6 groups from back in the '90s and stuff?
That's what I've been. That's mostly what we've been doing, like pretty much since for almost a decade. Like from 2000, toward the end of 2009, we started. Okay, I would say from 2010 till 2018, that was the majority of shows. Were those kind of shows where like nostalgia, back to the 90s.
Yeah.
Yes.
In
we
Europe,
need more of that right now.
Rewind tours are huge in Europe. They have 80s rewind, 90s rewinds, and all the.
We need them here, especially post-COVID.
Yeah, definitely need them. I don't know why they don't do them over here, but I don't know.
Yeah.
How many languages do you speak? If you lived in Belgium, and
I speak 3 fluently, and then I can kind of find my way with 2 more, but 3 fluently. English, French is technically my first language. Actually, French, I consider French my first language, though my mother says it's Dutch. I don't think so, because I remember speaking French with all my siblings, even my mom and my dad. And then whenever we had to go on vacation to Belgium, then she would decide to speak Dutch Flemish with us like a month in advance. And I would get so angry, I would get so frustrated and angry because I couldn't understand anything. But then, it came back, and then we spent 2 months in Belgium, in Flanders, in Antwerp. So we speak Flemish. Then we moved from Africa, from Congo. Well, we moved from Congo to Belgium, yes. No, we moved from Congo, from Zaire at the time, from Zaire to Kenya, where they speak English. We attended the French school over there because we came from French-speaking territory. And then we moved to Belgium, to Flanders, where they speak Flemish. And we kind of already had a little training with that. And, then I went to Flemish school over there. So I speak Français, Nederlands, and English fluently. And then I try to dabble in a little Espanol and Lingala, which is my country's national language besides French.
Very cool. Huh? That's very cool, yeah.
Why did you choose to settle where you are now? Did you not want to stay in the U.S. or?
I used to live in the U.S. and I met my husband there, who's a Nigerian, and I'm in Nigeria now.
Okay.
We moved from the U.S., lived in the U.S. for a while, and then moved to Belgium, and then from Belgium we moved to Nigeria. So we've been here since 2006 in Nigeria.
Oh, you got to come back to New York. We miss you.
Right?
Yeah, that's another complicated book worth of a tale.
Well, you don't have outstanding warrants out, do you?
No. One thing I don't have, no warrants, no criminal record. But
I'm just teasing.
But it's a long story. Maybe
I don't think Technotronic is in the same league as like NWA. They're allowed in the US.
Yeah, right. Well, I just want you to know you're missed, and I hope you start performing again, because it's a shame. You have a voice that needs to be heard, a voice that we all know and love for years and will continue to. Couple of last things I wanted to just ask you. You think you could give us a couple of verses to Get Up?
I used to hate that they asked me that. What do you want me? Get up on your feet before the night is through. You won't miss. Get down to the beat. Pump it, stomp it, jam, trip on this. It's different when you're on a mic and you.
Right.
Right. No, I just wanted to.
I think she was singing "Get Up" before this interview was over.
Get up, get up, get up and move that party. Get up, people, now get down to it, for the night is over. But you know what? You should go to my Yakit K music. What is it? Yakit K music on YouTube. Yes, I throw some little random things on there.
Yeah, I love those videos.
Different
That's
stuff.
how I found you. I didn't know it was you, and I was like, because I couldn't find you on any social media. And I mean, I looked for months, and I was like, I saw this video on YouTube, and I'm like, does anybody know how I can get in touch with her? And lo and behold, it was you. I was like, when I got that email, I was like, no way, that is so cool. But like, I hope you start performing again. Like I said, that's your thing. But I know a lot of people would love to see and hear from you again. And I just want you to know that you have an open invite anytime you want to come on and shoot the breeze with us, talk about music, anything you want about I love the video you did about all these cool movies that you were watching, which a lot of them I've seen too. That was pretty cool. But they put a smile on my face, and I think that's what it was all about. And even though it was a little impromptu video, but I thought it was cool because we get to see a different side of you.
Okay. Yeah.
Do you have kids, and if so, have they heard the Technotronic music?
I have 6, but the oldest one is a Technotronic baby, right? Because he was kind of conceived during that time and born during that time, so he knows, and he's been on the road with Eric and I, so he yes. So, but the other ones, kind of I have twins, like 13-year-old twins, and I when that one 2 or 3 years ago, one of them found out about me. I never spoke to them about it, but he found me online or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, I can understand, people that do bad things, but that was good. I don't know why you hide it. I mean,
yeah,
everybody has something on YouTube that they don't want their kids to see,
Yeah.
No, I'm not hiding it. There's so many things happened throughout my young adult life. For instance, all the gold and platinum records that you get, the little awards. Like, I don't have any of them. I've been robbed.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Well, we got to do something about that. I know a guy.
It's been so long ago. I mean, I don't like,
Yeah. If one of your kids wanted to go into the music business, would you support them or say no way?
Oh, no. I would support whatever, because I don't think there's any point in holding anybody back from something they really want to do. Even if it means that they're going to do it and then, they might feel like it's not what they thought it was going to be, or they want to do something else after that. I mean, you got to do. I'm happy. I'm happy that I did what I did. I wanted to so badly, and it had to happen now when I was young, and it did. And even though it came with a lot of side effects.
Right. Well, I mean, that's where you live and you learn, and you could always, if your kids ever wanted to go and follow in your footsteps, at least you can give them a roadmap to help protect them a little better than what you had to go through.
Well,
and the system has changed a lot, right? Because you can put videos on YouTube and become number one,
I mean, you could do your own stuff and put it on YouTube. You don't even have to deal with a label like you did in the past,
Right, yeah. And right now, I got it. My youngest kid is like 6, so my priorities have to kind of be on those children.
Right. No, absolutely.
Yeah. But I mean, shoot, I am music, music.
Absolutely.
Be part of it for as long as.
Well, I hope you get back to performing, and if you ever come to the States, you got to let us know, because we'll roll the troops for that, and we'll show our love and support, and I really can't thank you enough for coming on, because I really enjoyed this, because it's just something about that time that growing up, and it was very impactful for me, and you were the soundtrack of our teenage years and even younger, and like I said, we can never thank you enough for that. And like I said, you're a friend of the consider yourself a friend of the show for life. And before we let you go, would you do one small favor for us? Would you do a station ID for us?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Basically, you're going to say, introduce yourself. Hey, this is Yakid K, and you're listening to Animal House Radio.
Animal House Radio. Okay. 3, 2, 1. Hey, y'all. This is Yakid K, and you are listening to Animal House Radio.
Look at that. See that one take. She still got it,
Right?
folks.
Yeah.
She
even
still
did the countdown. You see that?
Yeah. I want to wish you much love, much blessings, and be safe in where you are. And like I said, if you ever need anything, you just let us know.
Okay. Well, you're in New Jersey.
Yeah, we're in Jersey, me and Paul.
From down on, is it Fulton Street in Brooklyn? Never mind.
Yes,
that's not far. That's not far away. It's close enough. If you're there,
no, we'll come to Fulton.
Yeah, we'll come to Fulton Street.
Yo, for you, we'll come. We'll come to Zaire if we have to, but Fulton Street we could do.
Yeah, because now I'm kind of shuttling between both places. I'm kind of in Nigeria and the DRC, kind of.
Oh wow!
At the same time.
Well, whatever you do, you stay safe. Love and blessings to you and the family, and like we hope to see you on stage soon. Yeah.
Well, God willing. Thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you so much. All right, everybody. That's was our interview with Yakid K. And what's the what's the YouTube channel if they want to check it out?
Well, the one with music on is called Yakid K Music. That one is on YouTube, and then there's the one that Rasta one is where I talk most of the time.
I like that one.
If you want to hear music, you can go to Yakid K Music channel, and there's also some playlists with other things, with other like Technotronic or whatever other, like I put them on playlists on that channel. But there's all some videos, some tunes. I'm just,
I recommend everybody checking out that channel and show your love. If you remember her and loved her music, show your support and love. But once again, Paul, thank you for being my wingman today.
No problem, man.
But I want to.
Well, I wish I could see. I can't speak, but okay. Nice to meet you.
Take care. We'll see you all next time right here on Animal House Radio.
All right.